السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. We have been studying this 22nd word of the risale-i, and there was an example which represented two sides of human beings, and one side of human being wanted to take the universe and its existence seriously and try to reach a conclusion. The other side of the human being, in the parable, the one man said this, the other one opposed him, but we know that it represents two sides of the human being. And the believing one, the one who said that the universe, the world, this world that we are living in must have a maker, the owner, and he must have created us for a purpose. The other one said, no, I will take care of my own enjoyment. And he preferred to indulge in worldly transient pleasures of life. So the believing one said, there must be a maker. Let me present you some evidence for it. So, inshallah, today we are going to start from the first proof, what he says. Let's listen to him. Now, come and look carefully at everything around you. A hidden hand, of course, we have to understand hidden hand. We will, although physically not seen to our eyes, but intellectually it is inevitable not to accept that something is going on, is working within all these works. For something which has not even an ounce of strength, the matter, or any matter, any piece of matter, blind matter, something as small as a seed is raising a load of thousands of pounds on its shoulder within its capacity. And something that doesn't have even a particle of consciousness is performing extremely wise and purposeful works. No particle of consciousness. That means they are not working by themselves, but that are hidden from our physical eyes, not from our minds. Possessor of power is causing them to work. If one thinks that they were acting independently by themselves, it would necessitate all the works which we see everywhere in this land being miraculous and everything to be a wonder-working marvel. And that is nonsense. This claim is nonsense, that the things we are working by themselves on their own. So the author gives in the footnote example of grapevine, and particularly mentions about this grapevine as they grow, as if they know their future, that they are going to, there will be heavy grape branches on them, that this thin branch of their physical body or material body cannot bear it. As they are growing, it is so interesting, as if they know the future, what is going to happen to them. Even I don't know my future, what is going to happen to me, but the plant of the grapevine, as if it knows the future, what will happen. Accordingly, it every branch uh, keeps climbing up on a thriller, step by step, to carry its fruit even before it has the fruit. Like DNA recordings, the future existence of the cell and the beings. It is all recorded, what is going to be created in the form of knowledge inscribed in the cell by unconscious subatomic particles. How do they know the future? For example, nowadays, we know that the mothers, pregnant mothers, go and get the scan. And in the scanning, the doctors, the experts know that, look, your baby's cells, DNA written in it, that this baby will have, God forbid, but it happens occasionally, very rarely though, will have a certain disease that it cannot be cured. How do they know? It is written in DNA, but written by what? Or by whom? No, it is written accidentally by matters, they claim. Some crazy people claim that. By particles. And these particles are made of just atomic things, atoms, matter, blind matter. How do they know the future? So that the doctors read in them, this will have. But there are signs, but the signs are arranged according to what will happen in the future. But they inherit from it, the same thing, inherit from another being's DNA. And how do they know it? Infinitely goes back to the beginning. Somebody arranged this universe in such an amazing way that every single being in it has its own living being, in it has its own DNA, which will reveal what will happen throughout it. It is new generations by new generations, thousands of years, and it is already recorded there. But one must be ashamed of claiming that this is happening accidentally. But it is already recorded. What are you talking about accident? It is mind-blowing. And I mean, to see these people, how dare they claim? I only have one way of explaining it. They are biased. They have biased ideas, approach to the creation, so that they say, I'm not going to believe in the creator. Let me explain it away by finding an excuse of uh, uh, making the things are happening by themselves, or explaining it in a way that they are happening by themselves, accidental, random happenings throughout history of billions of years. So they just uh, hide their obstinacy behind some uh, technical words that they use. So they are all Latin words so originally. So people don't know Latin language. It is not a living language anyways. So they appear to be serious people because of these words they use. But these words are just chosen by them themselves. Not everybody is comfortable about this at all. Not every scientist really prescribes to this understanding, but they dominate the world. And really, like a dictator, they don't let anyone to express their ideas who are not biased, who say, look, it is impossible to explain this event within the capacity of blind, inanimate, ignorant, no will matter. How can you do that? But that is how we are facing in this world, unfortunately. So this is the first proof. There must be something, as the author says, a hidden hand, something that is not physically appearing, operating in this world. This hidden hand is important here because the author doesn't say God is making it. No, there's something. There is something. This, of course, we know from our previous studies that this hidden hand represents the impossibility of the matter to be the source of its own existence is when it is established, when this impossibility is established, it means la ilaha, we say there must be something there, illallah. So in the course of time, the author is going to describe the illallah side in the second part of this study, this 22nd word. Now, the first part is just the preparation of our minds in order to really grasp what the author is going to tell us in the second part. So it must be first well established in our understanding that universe must have a thing, and a thing to be the source of existence of this universe. So, second proof. If you have any comment about the first proof, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will continue. Anytime you can say anything you want. Actually. Second proof. Come, look carefully at the things which adorn all these plains, fields, and dwellings of the parts of the world, this globe of earth. There are marks on each telling of that hidden one, this this one, we don't see it physically operating here like a human being. Simply, each gives news of him like a seal or stamp. It means certain, certified, this news. Look in front of your eyes. What does he make this hidden one? Now, it is physical, not a part of this universe. Let's call it this hidden one, the one which is not a part of this universe. Uh, what does he make from 1 ounce of cotton? Now, seeds producing the plants and its leaves and fruits, all of them are referred to it here. I have written this small letters as a summary of the footnote that the author uses it. I couldn't copy paste it because the web page doesn't allow me to copy paste them, and I just wrote the summary of what he said there. See, how many rolls of cloth, fine linen, or linen, sorry, fine linen fabric, and flowered material have come out of it. Out of one seed, what is written there, now it is what is really written in the, or described in the blueprint of a building. Now the workers or the laborers are building it according to the plan, but we don't see any laborers there at all. We only see an already written and prepared information in the seed. That's it, only information. Information cannot create anything, cannot give existence to anything. Information is written with ink. Doesn't mean that the particles of ink are creating the real building out there. I don't know how these people understand. Okay, see how many sugar delights and round sweets are being made. Of course, he is using a very simple examples. If thousands of people like us were to clothe themselves in them and eat them, they would still be sufficient. So, I mean, one seed gives tons of grapevine for a grape, for example, or apricot, or oranges, year by year, comes out of it. And look, he has taken a handful of iron, water, earth, coal, copper, silver, and gold, maybe air, we can add, and made some flesh out of them. Of course, referring to animal bodies from material made up of material elements. Material elements become animal, alive, magical. Look at that and see, oh, foolish one, speaking to other side of human being, or that wants not to submit its existence to its creator. Look at that and see, oh, foolish one, these works are particular to such a one that all his land, all this land, together with all its parts, is under his miraculous power and is submissive to his every wish. They cannot stand. I'm not going to be like this. No, they have no free will, no choice. So we see that this is the reality, although we take it for granted. We're saying that this is a banana, this is an orange, or this is a cherry. And cherries taste in this way, simple, take it simple, in a simple way, but they are so precious in their existence. So we have to reflect on them, appreciate them, and every time we encounter with them, we use them, we eat them, we have to admit that they are free gifts for us by their conscious creator. So we don't really say simply that this is the grape I bought from the greengrocer shop. So I paid for it. It was really expensive because it is out of season. Or this kind of language is a shameful language that conscious human beings use it. Any third proof? I will continue. Look at these mobile works of art. Now, it means animals and humans especially. Each has been fashioned in such a way that it is simply, each of them is simply a miniature sample of the huge palace. Everything you see in the whole universe, you can see the same order, same perfection, with same qualities manifested in each body of the animal. Especially we see very clearly each human being, unique to its own. Every individual being has a unique characteristics to its own self, specially chosen and designed for every being. But we understand that the qualities in it are universal wide. Fundamentals are universal wide, but every being, let's say the simple example, use it. A book is written from 20, I don't know, 27 letters. That's it. Not 28, 27 letters. And out of 27 letters, millions of books are written. All of them has its own unique information. Material-wise is the same. Outcome is never is the same. Outcome or every information, every meaning of each word within the context of the sentence, and every sentence within the context of paragraph and paragraph in chapter in the whole book has its own unique message. Although they are made from the same simple alphabet, it needs intelligence to rearrange it, articulate to each sentence, depending on the whole context of the book. That sentence makes sense only within the whole context of the book. Otherwise, we may misunderstand the sentence if we really ignore it. So every being in the universe makes sense within its own being only when it is taken or considered within the context of the universe. We can make sense of its existence, conclude that whoever made this being, animal, let's say a bird, must be the one who made the whole universe. Exactly like whoever wrote this sentence within this paragraph and put the paragraph within this chapter must be the one who wrote the whole book, not the letters. We cannot reduce the meaningful sentences to their letters, saying that letters developed by themselves and made themselves into a meaningful sentence and paragraph. No one can claim this, but how crazy some people that they claim the universe is made in this way. Accidentally. The parts, the elements of the things made them as human beings. Accidental random happenings as a result of. Of course, we pay attention to the reality that every being in it a miniature sample of the huge universe. Elements are the same elements, but whoever wrote the book must be the author of the sentence because it is perfectly related or located in its place and completing the meaning of rest of the sentence of the paragraph. And each paragraph completes the meaning of the rest of the chapter. Continue until the universe. They are so interlocated, interrelated with each other. You cannot separate an atom and take it to a lab and investigate it. That's what this materialist, especially materialist scientists, deliberately do that. Take individual being and examine it as an individual existence, nothing to do with the rest of. Like taking one letter from the book and saying that, look, this letter has this and this and this qualities in its physical existence. How they cheat people. And these qualities developed by chance throughout billions of years of random happenings. Because the letter has no free will, who will decide about its future. Crazy. But people are free to choose whatever they say. Whatever there is in the palace, it is found in these tiny mobile machines, especially human beings. Animals are the same. All living beings, but especially human beings. All our feelings directly, actively, lively, connected with the qualities of the rest of the universe and communicate even with the ability, with the source of existence of this universe and acknowledge its existence with his capacity of intelligence. Amazing. Human beings. We should not waste our human qualities, actually, for spending it on simple temporary things only. So is it at all possible that someone other than the palace's maker could come and include the wondrous palace in a tiny machine? The seed. Also, even further, is it at all possible that although he has included the whole world in a machine the size of a box, small, there could be anything in it that has purposeless, or could there be attributed to chance? So any letter in the book, when we look at it, this letter happened to be here by chance. No, it has a purpose to be there to complete the meaning of the word, and it is a purpose, there is a purpose for the word to complete the meaning of the sentence and go on and on at the end you say, the, the whole book. One letter here, take a one letter. This one, for example, T. T is there. Think about it. Consciously put by a conscious being. T cannot be there accidentally. Let alone all the letters arrange themselves accidentally in this book. Really, it's amazing. It is amazing to see some people claim that. Unbelievable, but they are free. That means that however many skillful fashioned machines you can see, it is like a seal of that seal of sign, but confirming certainty, describing the certainty of the sign of that hidden one. That's why the author didn't say, I think, my guess, uh, like a sign of that hidden one. No, seal of hidden one. It means you cannot change it. You cannot really imitate it. Rather, each is like an herald or proclamation. Herald and or proclamation. It means announcing something through the sorry through their tongues of disposition. They are saying we are the art of one who can make this entire universe of ours, it was this world as we living here, as easily as and simply as he creates us, that who understands and appreciates it. As he is the creator of the universe, but he creates one cell in my body as so that the universe is created again as easy as this cell in my body is created, because they have equal values. One of them is miniature size, the other one is bigger size. Quality-wise, that they witness to it is created are the same. Any problem? Anything? Okay. Fourth proof. Oh, my stubborn friends, come, I shall show you something even stranger. Look, all these works and things in this land have changed and are changing. Wow, it is now different. Book is static, but this earth or universe is not static, it's dynamic. They are continuously changing. They don't stop. Can you imagine a book continuously changing its meaning, slightly more developed, slightly more, but at the end, when we say, let's say, take one book, one instance of existence of a book, it is fully meaningful. But second moment, another one, second moment, another one, and each of them is perfectly consistent with within itself, that it is meaningful, but at the end, altogether becomes meaningful as well. Their development from one stage to another. We can see it simply in, for example, the baby, newly born baby. Newly born baby is perfect. And second day, third day, we see the mothers can tell the change in the baby at the beginning. But as they grow, it is less noticeable, but needs more careful observation. Now, we understand that every stage as a child is perfect. We love it. As a baby, we love it. Perfect. But as it develops, its development also is perfect. And at the end, living beings die. Everything died, but living beings die observably. We see that trees are dying, animals are dying, human beings are dying. When they die in their body, and their death is also realized in a perfect way. Perfect way. Deliberately done. We see it in the rotten fruit. In order to create a rotten fruit, one has to know the order of the universe, how it works. Every stage demonstrates that their creation is perfect. So they don't stop in any one state. Note carefully that each of these lifeless bodies and unfeeling boxes, then they have no feelings, has taken on the form of being seemingly absolutely dominant. What does it mean? Quite simply, it is as though each rules all the others, as though. Look at this machine next to us. So again, the author goes here, trees, okay. Trees like factories weave, adorn, cook, the cook leaves, flowers, and fruits. Uh, I think I made a mistake here. This look, okay. We understand it, flowers and fruits. It is as though issuing commands, each of them, all the necessities and substances necessary for its adornment and functioning, come hastening to it from distant places. The air comes there from distant place, for example. Light comes from the sun, helps them, employed. You will work here, come, send your rays to these plants or the living beings. Now, look over there. That lifeless body is as though beckoning, demonstrating, if we are showing, signing, drawing our attention. No, be careful, look at me as if. It makes the largest bodies serve it and work in its own workplace. Now, as if a living being is making the sun serve for it and send its light to it so that it will, as if, of course, they don't know, but it will work perfectly in their workplace, means in their body. Although water molecules are easy to understand, uh, are the same. But whatever the body they get into, they work perfectly according to the requirements of that body, or the body of a living being. Perfectly according to the requirements, needs of that perfect body of the being. And although they have the same qualities, air molecule. I mean, it is only, I can only understand it simply that 27 letters are the same, but in their specific position, they function there perfectly in order to serve the meaning of the sentence paragraph and the whole book. So we cannot say that this is only M, the letter M. No, it is serving to the meaning of the whole book. There are only two options. M, the letter M, is making the decision, or if we see that it has no consciousness, no free will, no choice at all, somebody must have employed this M in this book in this position. Now, I think with this simple example made it easy for me to understand. Make further analogies in the same way. I mean, you can take not M, but A or K for everything, or air molecule, sunlight, or minerals in the soil, or water molecules. But you can see whatever you see in the body of the living being. Simply, everything subjugates to itself and all the things in this world, as if the things itself subjugate, as if. But if they have the consciousness, maybe if you don't accept the existence of that hidden one, you have to attribute all these skills, arts, and perfections in the stones, earth, animals, and creatures resembling men everywhere in this land to the things themselves. Now, if we don't say that a conscious being is arranging all these skills, arts, and perfections, if we don't accept it, if we don't accept the author, a conscious author of the book, then I have to say each letter in this book has the intelligence of the author of the book, will of the book, will of the author of the book, power of the author of the book, each letter, because it has chosen its place by itself to be employed there, wherever it is. If it makes sense to anyone, really, they don't need to believe in the Creator at all. If you say, yeah, there is no need to say that this book has an author. Why? Every letter has this quality of being an author of the whole book. If you claim this, go ahead. Now, in place of a single wonder-working being, which you deem which your mind deems unlikely, speaking to his friend, I mean my egoistic side, you have to accept millions like him, or each being is the writer of this book or creator of the universe, who are both opposed to one another and similar and one within the other, so they don't cause confusion everywhere and the order be spoiled, so that the order should not be spoiled and there should be no confusion. So I think we always emphasize on this aspect of the creation, that everything is really contradictory qualities, have opposed to each other, everything opposed to each other, to one another, but at the same time similar, and one within the other. It means, yeah, I understand this in the example of the book better. So each letter is located in a place that not the other one can replace it. Individually chosen, for example, W is here. No, you can, so we cannot say that H could have been here, the H next to it, could have been where W, it doesn't make sense. Their positioning is really rejecting the positioning of others as far as its own place of positioning is concerned. But at the same time, they are really similar with each other, although made of lines, the same ink, written by or made up same ink, similar to each other, and within each other, it means they come next to each other in a perfect way that makes sense. So that in a perfect way that the beings will work perfectly in its totality. Every human being works perfectly within its own being. Whereas if two fingers meddle in a country, it means two authority. With the same authority, meddle in a country, they cause confusion. For if there are two headmen in a village, even in a village, let alone the whole country, two headmen in a village, or two governors in a town, or two kings in a country, the result is chaos. So, what about an infinite, absolute ruler? Rather than every being has infinite, absolute quality. And every being is infinite, and then it would be only everything will happen as I want if they have infinite qualities. Nothing but chaotic. It means a totally absurd idea. Okay. Fifth proof. I'm continuing because it stage by stage goes, but it is understood, I believe. Oh, my skeptical friend, come look carefully at the inscriptions of the vast palace. Look at all the adornments of the town. See the ordering of this whole land and reflect on all the works of art in this world. Look at them, how the things are arranged. See if these inscriptions are not worked by the pen of one hidden who possesses infinite miracles and skills and are attributed to unconscious causes, if you don't accept this author of the book, but attributed to unconscious letters, to blind chance, accidentally letters happen to get in an array like we see it now, accidentally. Blind chance and deaf nature, then every stone and every plant in this land has to be an scriber so wondrous. It can write 1,000 books in every letter and include millions of works of art in a single inscription. Now, every letter, can you imagine? Unconscious, every letter is able to write the whole book. I mean, it is obvious. I think there is no spent any more time on it. Because look at the inscription on these stones. Now, fruits which bear its trees, program, and index. Whatever is written in the universe is summarized in this tiny seed, like human or living beings' DNA. Everything is summarized there. This body of this man will have this mineral from there, this vitamin from there. All of them are gathered from different places of the world and arranged in such a perfect way that I don't contradict my existence, don't contradict to the rest of the universe. So in each are the inscriptions of all the palace. In each DNA has the quality, has the information, how it is going to communicate with the rest of the whole universe so that it will take from the air, from the sunlight, from the minerals, and the gravity, all the universe, uh, valid in the whole universe or being everywhere in the universe. All of them, the seed will take them and employ for its own purpose perfectly. Now, and the laws ordering, sorry, oh, and the laws ordering all the town, and it must hold the laws. So it will say, you will be there, I will be here, all right? Don't change your place so that we will make a meaningful existence. And the programs for organizing the whole country. That means that it is as wonderful to make these inscriptions as to make the whole country. It means in order to make me in as I am now, one has to be able to make the whole country, it means whole world, so that I will be existing within the context of the whole world, perfectly fitting, benefiting from it, communicating with it. Of course, we are not talking about the feelings, intelligence side of animate beings. We are not talking about only body, only simple body. Compared to the intelligence side of animate beings, body is nothing. But even the body, physical existence of the body. Now, when we look at the book, even the physical arrangement of the letters is amazing. How about the knowledge in it? Information in it? Impossible that the information will be produced by the letters, ink. Impossible. But even the arrangement of the signs or lines of the ink is amazing. Impossible to be explained by saying that it is happening by itself. That means that it is as wonderful to make these inscriptions as to make the whole country. In which case, all the inscriptions, all the works of art are proclamations of that hidden one and seals of his. It means proof that this hidden one must exist somewhere, definitely. Although we don't see him, but there is no other way to explain the existence of anything in this world. So, since a letter cannot exist without showing the one who wrote it. Now, now the author is going in another aspect of existence. When you look at a letter, for example, S here, now we say, as conscious human beings, we say it is a letter S. Now, it demonstrates that I am S? No. The author says no. Showing the quality of its writer, who wrote it, who made it in this way, because particles of the S, inside of the S, cannot decide to become the S shape that we see. So when you look at the S, we shouldn't say that I can see the letter S there. Rather, we have to say that this thing here, which we call it S, must have a writer. It cannot happen to be there by itself. So this is another aspect of the creation that we have to pay attention. That is an interesting, important sentence here. Since a letter cannot exist without showing the one who wrote it, and an artistic inscription, it is written this shape. Some people write it really beautifully, the other ones, like me, can write it that beautifully. This is the way it is artistically inscribed, cannot exist without making known it is inscriber. It's very simple. There must be an inscriber. S cannot give its shape to itself. How is it that, now the question is here, how is it that an inscriber who writes a huge book in a single letter, if he writes the whole book in the letter of S, while he is doing this, he is not really writing with the pen the shape S, but while it is writing in its existence, he is inscribing the whole meaning of the book, information of the book in S. We can understand this. It is a little, the time is up, but it is a very important point, and afterwards we will stop. Now, when you look at an S, the way it exists in this in the sentence, and therefore the paragraph, it says, I am meaningful to be in my position as far as the whole meaning of the paragraph is concerned. I cannot be in other way, so that, for example, take the letter S, let's do it, and put it accidentally somewhere. Look, what happened? What happened? The whole sentence became nonsense. The whole paragraph, the meaning, the purpose of the written paragraph is summarized in the positioning of the S as it is. That is what the author is trying to tell us. How is it that an inscriber who writes a huge book in a single letter and inscribes 1,000 inscriptions in a single inscription? Now, the way it is positioned, it says, the one who put me here knows all of this. And the conscious being who positioned me here, located me here as I am, where I am, every letter says this, as I am, must know the whole book. Now, that is why we can see that the position of the S here, S or another letter, example S, here demonstrates that the whole paragraph is represented in my positioning in this sentence, in this word, where I am. It is amazing. The existence is like this as well. Every being says, only the one who knows the whole world make me or create me, put me in this position with these qualities. So should not be known through his writing. This one who's the author should not be known through his writing and through his inscribing. I mean, that is what we should know. Who is the creator of this earth? Who is the creator of each being in this earth must be understood, realized by examining each being in it, by examining each being in it. You don't have to go everywhere. You don't have to study everything in the book. That's what the people claim. You cannot know that this book has an author if you don't investigate the whole book. No, just I read the word since and see S in its positioning is enough that the S is put here by the one who knows the sentence. That's enough. And by the one who knows the paragraph, put the sentence in its position. It is the logical conclusion. Inshallah, we should stop here. We will continue as fast as possible, inshallah. So these proofs are, uh, each of the proof analyzes the subject from a slightly different perspective. Although they seem to be similar, they are not similar. A little bit different perspective, a little bit different perspective, so that we will have a full conviction about our conclusion that the universe must have a creator who is not a part of the universe. Inshallah. Any comment, any idea you would like to share? Otherwise, time is up, even a little bit late. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة